Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello!
Today we're having a look at our Mexican Militia for our Alamo game. Mexican Militia, what do you know about them?
The Mexican militia wore white clothing.
Yeah, they were in summer clothing, summer uniform, because they were raised at the far side of Mexico, where it was a lot hotter. And they were marched over, because the rebellion in the north...
There's winter here.
Yeah, they were marched over and ended up fighting at the Alamo, where it was freezing cold.
Yes.
It was snowing the day before, the night of the Alamo. Yeah, so that's why they're in white. You see now other Mexican troops, they're all in blue. These guys were in white, however they did carry a blue jacket which they wore over the top of the overalls. However, they took their jackets off in order to fight. So normally these guys would actually have a blue jacket over the top of the white jacket because of the cold. But for the actual battle, so it didn't encumber them climbing ladders and fighting, they took their jackets off. The same as the Mexican infantry, all took their greatcoats off. Because the entire Mexican army were in greatcoat.
Because it's cold.
Yeah, it's like Waterloo. Whenever someone does Waterloo, they do French looking a bit like this, in sort of summer uniform, whereas in reality, British, French, every single soldier at Waterloo was in a greatcoat.
Did they take off the battle?
No, they wore the greatcoats throughout the entire battle, because it was thoroughly down
in
cold.
squares?
Yeah, it was thoroughly down and cold. So they were all in winter clothing.
It wasn't raining in the night of the battle.
It was pretty unpleasant weather.
Well, the tank couldn't move.
Yeah, because of the mud. So yeah.
Bad luck, really bad luck.
Also, all films of the Alamo seem to be set in a sort of summer period where it's quite warm looking. In reality, it was quite cold because it was the middle of winter.
I mean, the latest film is bright and sunny, blue sky.
Yeah, I don't know why they film depictions of things in the wrong period. You know.
Well, it's kind of a desert, isn't it, Alamo?
Brush. It's not quite a desert. It's
That's where people are probably going from. Because people haven't actually gone to a desert before. They think, oh, it's always blue sky and the sun's glaring at you all the time. You get really hot.
Yeah. So you think desert equals hot.
Yes.
In reality, in countries with deserts, nighttime it's very cold.
Yeah, apparently that's built. If you're walking around it, you get lost. It's night time. You have to get stones and make a wall or something.
Yeah.
To keep stuff cosy during the night.
Because sand doesn't retain heat. So that well, in Europe, when it's really hot during the daytime in summer, it heats the ground, the concrete, because everywhere's concreted over. Mm-hmm. And when the heat goes away during the day, when the sun sets, the heat is given off by the concrete.
Yeah, like
the heat comes out, and so
you touch the pavement, it's hot. Then you touch the grass next to it, and it's cold.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's more sort of organic and it can heat sink a lot better. Yeah, although modern day builders are building buildings with greenery inside them as well. Not really cost effective, but looks good, and it keeps down on your heating bills or your cooling bills. So the Mexican infantry militia, we've only used them once so far. We've only had one battle, and they're actually the only guys to get over the wall.
Nice game.
Yeah, they did. One guy got over the wall.
Yeah, but then four of my men beaten to death.
Doesn't matter. He got over the wall.
One man.
So at the moment, the militia are the most effective troops in the battlefield. Painting wise, I've painted them all in white jackets. However, they all some have different coloured trousers. All the trousers are covered in mud. I've tried to make them really dirty and scruffy because they've been marching for the last 3 months.
Normally people make them all shiny.
Yeah, I don't like people who paint figures shiny, because in reality people aren't shiny. They're covered in mud and dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
you see these immaculate World War One figures. So you ever seen an actual photograph of a World War One soldier?
No, he's got mud everywhere.
He's basically mud with a uniform underneath it. Yeah.
His face is covered in sludge.
Yeah. There's nowhere to get washed.
You're on the trenches for a month, then you go back to safety, and that's where you get washing everything for, and you rest for a month, and then you keep swapping. That's what happens in trenches.
Yeah, typically in the trench warfare, you get to go back to the soldiers would go on holiday in Paris.
Yeah, they go to back lines, go right to back.
You could actually leave. You didn't have to stay on barracks. So
I'd rather stay on barracks just in case something goes wrong.
Well, what's going to go wrong? You're in France. I mean, obviously now you'd stay in barracks because you wouldn't want to walk around France.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
In those days, it was pretty safe.
Wait, World War One, they never took over France, did they?
The Germans, yeah, all fighting was done in France.
No, they didn't take it though, did they?
No, but all the Germans built trenches in on French soil.
And in World War Two, they took France.
No, they took the sort of Normandy area, but the rest of France surrendered and became Vichy. Which
still German.
Yeah, well, the Vichy weren't loyal to the Germans, but they weren't enemies of the Germans.
We saw a photo of after he conquered France. We saw a photo of him looking at the Eiffel Tower.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically the whole Second World War was a
sightseeing trip.
A holiday tour. Yeah, a sightseeing trip. So basically, Hitler wanted to see the Eiffel Tower, so he invaded France. He wanted to see the Kremlin, so he invaded Russia. That's basically what happened.
Didn't get to see it though.
No, it's a shame, isn't it?
Fellow.
Anyway, that totally discombobulated me there. I'm not sure what I was talking about. Yeah, so the Mexican militia troops were not the best troops in the world. They were basically local volunteers, local police force. They were just used as local garrison troops. They weren't regular army. The rest of the Mexican army is regular army, these guys weren't. So they're not...
So were these like volunteer kind of people?
Yeah, yeah.
Not as trained as the normal, ordinary, standard Mexican infantry?
Look, they just fought a civil war. Mexico had just fought a war, a very bloody war, with Spain. Because Spain occupied Mexico and the Mexicans wanted independence, and so the Mexicans fought a civil war against the Spanish.
And I'm guessing they were?
Yes, thanks to Santa Anna and people like him. Santa Anna actually started the war on the Spanish side. In fact, most of Santa Anna's generals were pro-Spanish when the war started. De Cos and all the others were all pro-Spanish.
So if it weren't for them not changing sides, the Mexicans would have lost.
Well, it's just the Spanish weren't being particularly nice, and when you're born and you live in a country, and a foreign government is dictating what happens in your country,
you get a bit annoyed.
Yeah, and the militias were raised to support the main rebel army, and the main rebel army was a relatively small army, but it could rely on militia troops who would be disguised as civilians, and then when fighting came, they'd don a uniform and run out and fight. And that's where that was the grounding of the militia. Also, you had lots of Indians living close by, and Indians at the time were considered Spanish citizens. But during the rebellion, some of the Indians backed the rebels and some backed the Spanish, and so there was a lot of fighting between different sort of groups who backed either side, and the militia was basically there to keep a lid on it, because then otherwise you're going to end up with things like ethnic cleansing. You're going to end up with the White Terror, which you had in France, where the Bourbonites were all rounded up and shot, basically, by the Bonapartists.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically the Bourbonites were the people who backed the status quo, the Republican government, and the Bonapartists backed a... Well, I would say a more egalitarian government, but it was pretty dictatorial. Local people would choose what happened.
It's democracy.
Not really democracy. Napoleon wasn't a democrat, but there was a certain, you'd have more control over what happened locally rather than the republic, the republic had centralised power.
The things that they were going to do.
Yeah, they had centralised power, and they would say, we're going to pass this law and it applies to everybody. And some local areas would say, that doesn't apply to us. I don't want to ride on the left-hand side of the road.
And the answer is, I don't care.
Yeah, well, they had a civil war. Well, not a civil war. There was a rebellion, and Napoleon seized power. But in all rebellions, you have this sort of thing. In the English Civil War, had the Royalists won, you would probably have had the Royalists rounding people up and killing them. As it was Parliament that legally, because it was Parliament, rounded people up and killed them.
Like in England.
In England, yeah.
We did that.
Yeah. The Irish Parliament ordered all Irish soldiers to be executed, not to be taken prisoner.
Specific reason?
The Irish backed the king.
Oh. Well, everyone would. everyone would have backed the king.
But normal people backed the king. The aristocracy didn't. They backed Parliament. So the king sort of stood for the working class, the workers basically.
Royalty, I don't think royalty like that.
No, the king was royalty.
Yeah, but I bet the rest of the royalty family didn't like that. The royal family didn't like that.
What, the ones that weren't killed?
The ones that didn't stand for the working class. Because nowadays
it wasn't a very big family.
Nowadays they don't care about it.
The royal family today is a lot bigger than it was then.
Yeah, but it don't do all.
There weren't many members of the royal family.
They had babies.
Then. Yeah, I know. They have babies and appear on Hello magazine. Other than that, I don't think they do much.
Howard does a lot.
Yeah, you're talking about the top-ranking royals now. I was sort of talking about the lesser royals that we have knocking around.
Never heard of them before.
Yeah, there's lots. There are a lot of royals in Britain. They're all over the place, especially here because the royal thing's just down the road.
Never going there.
We see his helicopter fly over. So, So in rebellions, you do get a tendency of the winning side to take reprisals against those that oppose them. I think the worst is probably the Spanish Civil War, which was truly horrific. The communists, when they took over, massacred all the students in the universities who hadn't backed the communist uprising. And then when the nationalists took over, they shot all the students who hadn't been massacred because they were communists. So, yeah, it was pretty horrific. Nasty. Although Franco actually put most of the population in concentration camps until he could sort out which ones are good and which ones are bad. Mexico managed to avoid that because the militias were able to keep a lid on anyone trying to carry out reprisals. They were pretty much neutral. Like when Santa Anna was deposed, after he was taken prisoner,
by Texans.
Yeah, the militia actually kept law and order under the command of the Texans.
Interesting.
Because they were neutral in a way, although they did serve in the army. They were called upon to serve. For instance, the local militia here were not called because Santa Anna couldn't trust them because they were locals. They right back the Texans, so they didn't call the militia up. But, the few militia that were there were under Ramiro, I think, and they were the ones that they knew were loyal because they'd originally garrisoned the Alamo. But the rest of the militia they didn't call up. It just they didn't want them to get involved in fighting because again you're going to end up with long-term problems. Because if the militia side with one particular side in a civil dispute, the militia are going to be the enemy and you can't keep law and order.
Indeed.
Yeah, think Zorro. You ever seen Zorro?
Nope.
You ever read any Zorro?
Nope. I don't read.
Oh. Sorry, you're a modern child, aren't you?
I've never read before.
Well, Zorro is set in this period and he lives in California and he's a rich landowner. But he supports the poor, so he goes after the bad Mexican people, protecting the poor Mexican people. all the bad American people as well, like the industrialists and stuff. He's a sort of Robin Hood character. And he wore a mask so no one could recognise him. Bit like Batman.
Pretty nifty.
Yeah, bit like Batman.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, he probably spoke in a voice like that. And he probably rode a black horse. What was the horse called? I think it was a Lone Ranger. He probably rode a black horse, yeah.
Wait, this person who's wearing all black and a black horse.
Zorro, yes.
It's completely camouflaged at night, but it's completely
Sticks out like a sore thumb in the daytime. Yeah, it's like Batman, you know, you didn't go out at night, at daytime because everyone points. Bam, that's Batman! So that's, I think Zorro's an interesting thing. I used to love Zorro films when I was a kid. There used to be loads of Zorro films on Saturday.
When I was a kid, I watched Tom and Jerry.
You've got so many channels to watch now. We had 3 channels. And one of them had Zorro and the A-Team, and that's all they had. Another one had this really annoying thing with kids in it, and the other channel was for old people. So, and it wasn't on half the time anyway, because it used to like turn off at 10 o'clock.
Yes, for all people go to bed at 10 o'clock.
They said it's now too late, the BBC is going to turn off because you should all be in bed, loyal citizens.
Well, no, all people.
Yeah.
Go on, it's nearly 10 now. You go to bed.
I didn't even sleep last night.
You're completely nerve-wracked to the door opening and shutting.
Your mother and I are having difficulty sleeping with all the stuff that's going on.
Oh, don't worry, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I know you're perfectly fine. It's great. Anyway, questions. Did I mention the painting? I did mention the painting. Incidentally, I made the jacket on the back. That's the jacket roll there. So they've got the jacket on the backpack. Just sort of mention that while I painted them up. The figures are from Vitrix, and they're the French line infantry, and they're cool. I like them. Over to you.
Right, pass that flag.
What flag? That flag?
Yep.
That's an unfinished flag, it's just got the colours.
Right, so, normal ordinary Mexican flag.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
That's got the eagle on it.
Yeah, why?
Because that's the symbol of Mexico.
But I thought that was a symbol of Mexico.
It is. It's the flag of Mexico with the imperial eagle on it. The Republic. The sign of the Republic was the eagle with oak leaves. Simply.
Okay.
Incidentally, you can also, if you're doing Mexico, if you decide to do this, the Vitrix figures come with, obviously they're French, and you can use the French eagle for them, because the Mexicans use the eagle, so you can keep the eagle standard on the standards, which is quite cool. Any more questions?
One last one.
Go on then.
Wouldn't the militia have known that they were going to the winter zone?
Yeah.
Then how come they was in summer clothing?
It was a rush job.
So I can hit and run?
Yeah, no, when the rebellion came, Santana had to draw as many troops as he could to fight, because he was expecting America to invade.
Well, Texas to invade. America didn't want any part of it.
Oh, well, they didn't want any part of the first rebellion. America backed the first rebellion financially. Because the rebels, and with weapons and trained men. And then when the Texan government, the new Texan government, declared independence, that they did a speech which basically said, "We're the Republic of Texas." And America didn't like that, because America wanted Texas to rebel and become part of America. And so the American government cut funding and basically let them all get massacred by the Mexican army.
Well, Santa Ana suffered severe casualties.
Oh, that was the first time. This is the second rebellion.
Who won the second one?
Texas.
Yay!
They lost the Alamo, but they won the war.
The Alamo was just a distraction.
It was useful for slowing down Santa Ana's troops.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Sam Houston had to raise his army and train it. During the Alamo, Sam Houston was actually over discussing terms with the Comanches, trying to get them not to side with the Mexicans, because the Comanches fought for the Mexicans.
Ooh.
And he wanted to negotiate a deal with the Comanches not to side with the Mexicans.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, half the Comanches did side with the Mexicans and the other half didn't. So
they still won.
Yeah, and there were no militia in that area, so the side that lost, which were the Mexican side, were massacred by their own side, but by Comanches, not by locals, not by Saxons.
Damn at me.
You know, it was a local thing, and the Texans didn't know what was going on. They never knew what was going on. They just heard about it later. Otherwise, they'd probably done something about it, because they would have considered that quite unpleasant, just in the same way the Mexicans did.
Well, that's all my questions.
That's all your questions. So there we have it. It's not a particularly interesting video, I know, but given that we've done videos on all our other regiments that we bought for this game, I figure we'd better do a video on them, because they are different regiments.
And I believe these are our last Alamo figures we'll be doing.
Yeah, I need some Comanches.
Oh yeah, he's back with them.
I haven't got any Comanches, and I would like to get some cavalry.
Are you sure we've done a review on every single one?
I am sure we have. We've done the
cannon, because we're doing that first.
We've done the Red Rovers, that's the last video we did. We've done the Texans, we've done Texan Cannon, all the Texan character, the New Orleans Greys, the Cacadors for the Mexicans, now the Militia, the Line Infantry, and the Grenadiers.
Well,
that is everything, isn't it? We've done the Grenadiers, haven't we?
Yeah, we're doing that as well, because they're the ones with the...
Plume.
We did one of the videos and then people with the, like, butcher thing. Like, Berserkers, we did a video on that as well.
Oh, the Pioneers, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've done a video on everything, and we've done 3 Mexican generals as well. So please let us know in the comments if there's anything we've missed. These are, yeah, I just wanted to sort of keep up to date with all the different figures that we've actually managed to paint up, and do a little video on each one, because these videos seem to be quite popular and people seem to enjoy watching them, the individual unit figures.
And now we should be back for good.
Yeah, hopefully. So that's it. We will be loading videos on late at night here.
Oh yes.
Which will be evening American time. Because we can't load them up in the daytime. Yeah, we can't load them up in the daytime because we don't have enough internet.
Believe it or not though, even though we had 100 at our old house, it's this one's 20, isn't it?
It still seems faster, yeah.
It's faster.
Yeah, it's weird that.
I think they just ripped us off.
It's just, in the daytime I think because the local businesses and stuff will be using the internet, we don't seem to have the bandwidth to upload videos. They tend to just time out. I don't know why, just one of those things. Anyway, who cares? Next question? Any question? Nothing?
No.
No? It's boring, isn't it really?
Well, it's pretty, we have 3 questions.
Oh, that's it. So, thank you very much for watching. Over to him for the talky bit.
The outro.
Outro, yeah.
So you got that on your own, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did.
So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And comment down below what you think of these Mexican infantry militias.
Yeah.
I said it right.
Well done.
And smash that like button.
I didn't get that. That was too northern.
Smash that like button.
Why would you say that? If you're going to smash the like button, then it wouldn't work anymore.
You can't smash it though, it's on the computer.
Well, don't smash it then.
You can't smash it.
Why do you want to smash it?
You can't.
In that case, you can't smash it. So why did you say
you can smash the clicker button.